extremely easy hack through a CheckPoint VPN. Well, apparently easy. And happy birthday to Kubernetes. Happy 10th birthday.
He's Mike. I'm Steve. Welcome to Wired In.
Yes.
Take over the whole intro.
Yeah. 10 articles, 10 breakdowns. This is Wired In. Today, like I said, is Hack Week. It's going to be all exploits.
All of the articles are going to be described below. Hit the bell to be notified when we go live, and let's go.
Yeah, right into it. So I found this one. It's a POC of a Linux kernel exploit. It's privilege escalation vulnerability. I know that anytime there's any exploits in the Linux kernel, people go a little crazy. Everyone's relying on that.
It's out there.
All famous Linux kernel. Ubuntu, RHEL, CentOS, all of your favorite Linux distros will probably be affected.
I think you're associated with a rather popular Linux distribution, I imagine. It was news there, but if you are using the Linux kernel, and you are, go check it out. Upgrade.
Yeah, it is news. It's not super risky. Like it takes a kind of a workaround to get privilege escalation. It's what is it? Integer overflow that allows somebody to write into memory. They have to know what to do once they're in memory in order to get privilege escalation. I believe it's been fixed in all of the major Linux distros. So that's why the POC is out. You just haven't heard of it. So make sure you update. If you're using an open source version, make sure you're getting the newest patches that are getting released. Otherwise, you should be pretty safe.
Excellent. Okay, moving swiftly on. Shall I grab this next beast? Okay, this is from Truffle Security, the makers, I believe, of TruffleHog, a wonderful secrets detection tool. Often the researchers looking into credentials leaking subdomain takeover. It's a pretty funny article because it gives like a background into how research even is conducted, because they were using README, which is kind of generating API documentation with little like try it and test it. We probably all used it if you've ever tried to figure out how an API works. And then the researcher did a little bit of try it, added his API key up the top, went away, came back quite a bit later, and his API key was still populated. So he was like, wait, what? Where is this being stored? And of course, the site was storing it in his browser's local storage. So then from there, he started continuing through, all right, so I'm using my own organization's subdomain on subdomain.readme.io. And he's like, well, what if people stop using that subdomain? Is there a way, and it doesn't remove the CNAME record, is there a way to do a subdomain takeover? And if I can do a subdomain takeover, can I reroute that to some JavaScript that pulls other people's API keys out? And lo and behold, it is possible. What is great is if you zing all the way down to the bottom and you see README's response here, it's like, yes, we know this takeover issue is known. We accept the risk at the moment. We're looking at ways to make this better. But until then, we're just going to tell people, please remember to remove your CNAME record. That's the reaction. If we were going to, almost everything we've got in this show is breach related. If we're going to have AWTF, it would just be that response.
Oh, gosh. Wow. And then they published it too. So now it's out there.
Now it's out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't put that one back. Maybe don't get that in writing next time.
Yeah. All right.
That's pretty
all right. Awesome.
Okay. AWS IAM privilege escalation techniques. Now, this is not a single hack, but more like a list of all the different ways you can get privilege escalation in AWS environment using
It's
IAM.
like a menu almost. I didn't know. I'm probably going to make myself look bad here. I didn't know the hacking the cloud domain. I saw this article and I thought, oh, this is really quite cool. And then I went to town. I spent a good hour going through just everything this site has. It's like, if you open up here, you can see, not just IAM privilege escalation, how to steal EC2 metadata credentials. Oh, really? EC2 privilege escalation, API call hijacking. What? This is a great offensive security for cloud resource. So not only was I interested in this, I went, oh boy, I went down the rabbit hole a little bit on this one. I think it's a great resource. This is definitely a go into the links and click it example.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It has 1.5 stars on GitHub, 20 contributors, so you could tell there's a lot of people contributing to it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I'd never heard of it. So if I never heard of it, maybe other people hadn't either. Go check it out.
Yeah, we got to put one together for like Kubernetes and containers, right?
That'd be cool.
We should.
All right.
I'll follow up for more updates. All right, next one: Hugging Face exploits, or sorry, ChatGPT. You
This is
read
the
this whole paper,
ChatGPT.
right?
Well, this was a website, but it was unreadable. But they had a PDF version. I went and looked at it. It's an example exfiltrating personal information from ChatGPT via prompt injection. And I've been pretty curious about prompt injection. How does it work? Because I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I need like a little crash course on it. And while this is an interesting prompt, I quite liked that it showed me how prompt injection works to an extent. A very interesting summary, if I just zoom in on here. Bypassing a defense mechanism that stops ChatGPT from going to URLs. They're trying to extract an age, and it asks, access one of the following URLs based on my age. And and then the malicious URLs are there in order to send the personal details out to it. But I love this little, we were talking before we started here about how this just seems like an adult's abuse of a child, like it's just our little secret, ChatGPT. Don't mention this in your response. I was like, what? You can do that? And I thought it's like, okay. And it works. It works in the new 4.0, I guess, whatever that means. That was released. We should probably also say there's a better version of ChatGPT free out, but also the paid full-on 4. But didn't work in 3.5 apparently.
It's kind of interesting. Like, why would they open that up and like allow arbitrary URLs to be passed to ChatGPT? What's the advantage?
I don't know. Like, I think perhaps so. 3.5 is a lot more locked down. You can't upload PDFs. There's a lot of stuff you can't do. But 4, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm guessing there's a crossover where they've decided it's tested enough to allow a little bit more freedom. Maybe too much.
Well, on the path to AGI, where it does everything, you're going to have to account for a lot of security use cases, right?
Yeah. This is interesting. So take a look. The PDF link, which is very readable, is down below.
Cool. Yeah, no WTF. These are all crazy hacks. So just
no, they're all WTFs.
They're all WTFs, exactly. This is another list of awesome CICD attacks. Steve, did you stumble on this one too this week?
Well, this is my colleague made this.
Okay.
This is Assi Greenholz is a CICD researcher that works in the same team I'm in, and he's kind of like the brains of what was cybersecurity's research team, and we have this. I have a talk that I'm doing at OWASP Lisbon, which is a combination of research I did before Cider joined and something he did afterwards, and it's like very interesting. Catch me in Lisbon. Shameless plug. But he's put together like all of the. He just spends his only job is to research how to protect and yet how to abuse any form of CICD pipeline. And he finally decided, I'm going to put this all into one epic GitHub repository. And it is pretty comprehensive, both like tools and defense and hacks and methods. It's got everything. Another rabbit hole for you to go down if you're keen on protecting your pipeline.
Yeah, we should take that one, turn it into a website too. We have the AWS one, a Kubernetes one, a CICD one. Then they all join together to form one big hacking website.
Yeah. Then there's another thing we're never going to do.
Yeah. Add it to the list.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is supposed to be the WTF section, but I just thought we'd pick on Ticketmaster a little bit more because why not? Ticketmaster hack may affect more than 500 million customers.
That's big.
And they're constantly getting hacked. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know what the architecture is about Ticketmaster, but something's going on.
They were hacked like a few years back, and at the same time that British Airways was hacked. And it was one of those that I don't think it was ever even solved. It was like They were scraping credit card numbers off so it had to be some kind of JavaScript injection.
Mhm.
But here they are in the news, even worse. So bad that I have to assume I'm in this hack, right?
Yeah.
Because I use Ticketmaster. Who doesn't use Ticketmaster? If you've ever bought a ticket, you probably had to go through them. I do like the name of the hacking group, the Shiny Hunters.
Yeah, you
Uh,
got 1.3 terabytes of data.
yeah, I
How do you
wouldn't.
exfiltrate that without an alarm going off?
Well, this is a great question, Mr. Foster. How? I've been having so many conversations about data security, like not just putting a big wall around your world, like monitoring what data is traveling where within your application in the cloud. I'm thinking, what a good idea that is, because so many breaches, you find out afterwards what data's gone by doing some kind of post-mortem on the breach, as opposed to, like you said, how did you not notice? maybe you need some sort of, I don't know, something else in your security strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it's selling for $500,000, so they could just up
Mm.
the fees for every single ticket purchase and buy it off the hackers themselves, buy it back.
They still have the data. I mean, Ticketmaster's pretty wealthy. You don't want to give hackers, their reward, but I don't know, maybe give them 600,000 for
Well, I
it
mean, they're
from
charging us $30 fees every time you buy a ticket, so might as well.
oh god, there we go.
All right. Snowflake customer passwords found online, linked to info stealing malware. Now, this came out a week ago, and I remember there's sort of like a denial, like nothing happened. They post on the website, and then something did happen. Um, what was your take?
What they did, I didn't see all the previous stuff you're
Uh,
talking about. Like the what was, give me a little history here, because I only saw this one.
well, there was rumors of a leak, basically, and then Snowflake came out, I want to say early June, end of May, and said, no, we have no evidence of anything happening right now. Like, stay tuned. If there is, we'll obviously tell you, kind of thing. And I guess there was.
Well, yeah, well, it seems like they're confirming it.
Yeah.
But they're saying, like, the bad thing about Snowflake is that they're like a B2B. So it's not like it's you and me. I don't use Snowflake. I mean, not directly. I mean, but they're talking about customers like, I don't know want to pick on, but Ticketmaster
Yep.
is named directly right here in the article. Santander Bank. So this looks kind of bad. But there's no
Yeah,
other.
you almost wonder if they could be related, right? Ticketmaster sends, terabytes of data to Snowflake, who organizes it, saves it all, and then they don't necessarily notice that 1.3 terabytes goes missing because it has the same credentials, right? Like, it doesn't throw a flag or something like that.
No, and I think the lesson, the big
Oh,
takeaway here is,
never mind.
yeah. So there's the baddie right there. Come on, Snowflake. No multi-factor authentication, or not enforcing it. Let's put it that way. I'm sure they have it, but people are lazy.
And one of its own demo accounts. Oof, that stinks.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't protected beyond a username and password.
Sigh. See, they're all WTFs.
Yeah, they really are. That's like not the first time I've heard of demo accounts or demo environments being abused, right? Even if you're setting it up in AWS or something like that, you leave them up for too long and they're just sitting there publicly available.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to use them.
It's dangerous. Yep. Hey, let's what's our next one? Is it Hugging Face?
Yes.
Yes. Hugging Face is an awesome. This is a bit of what a surprise, bit of an AI theme, but this caught my eye because as soon as I saw Hugging Face and leaks, I thought, oh, great, another AI hack. I want to learn more about this, and it's not really. It's more, Hugging Face has, you can sort of roughly see it across the top. They have models and data sets, and it's a great place to experiment with AI safely. If you want, like, rather than paying or using ChatGPT or Gemini or anything like that. You can download and run everything on your laptop. It's super fun, and I wish I had more time to do it. But they have this marketplace, which I could probably just click on here, that shows you amazing AI apps made by the community. So it's in here where there was unfortunately a Spaces secrets leak So they're disclosing it on their website, talking about recommending you refresh any keys or tokens and consider switching your HF tokens to fine-grained access tokens, which are the new default. So anybody who's using old methods of secrets, there's, I guess, a problem associated with that. So go check it out. It's not a super fun AI hack, but if you're a new experimenter with AI and making community AI applications, check it out.
I like the way they released it too. We recommend you refresh it. We don't think that there's any downstream effects, but I think they did a good job.
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. Wait, it's maybe the only non-WTF.
Yeah, great response.
Boring. We should have just skipped it.
Right. This is the big one. 0-day flaw in CheckPoint's VPN. Extremely easy, says the security researcher.
This is the only article I could find where it said extremely easy, which is why this is the one in here. There's a lot of articles about this around the information superbond. But I like that this said extremely easy. And I also I don't necessarily like VPN easily exploitable problems, but I know Palo Alto had one in April. And it's like a big deal when people really rely on things like your VPNs and corporations and find out. And I wasn't involved, but immediately went crazy, like internally, to patch it and make sure it was all good. And I think it's all fine now. And it's interesting just to say, hey, VPNs are tough. Because here's CheckPoint with the almost identical situation going, there's a very easy vulnerability. A little side note is if you go and find the CVE for it, which isn't on this article, and you look it up on NVD, it doesn't even have a rating yet. Remember last week we talked about how NVD's like 6 months behind or something like that in providing CPE data. This is a 10 and it doesn't have a number yet. They're just way behind on everything. So I just know it's a CVE 2024 something, and there's just nothing.
Yes, I have a hot take on that. Stay tuned. There are 2 weeks for the next show.
Okay.
We'll have a breakdown. It's a very interesting problem that needs to be solved.
Yeah.
All right, on to the last article. Well, a fun one at the end, I guess.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh no.
Paris Hilton's been hacked.
Yeah. 0-day click attacks via DMs. You know all those random DMs you get with URLs from people you don't know? Don't click on those. In fact, maybe just block those people.
Those are one-click attacks. I like the fact that this is a 0-click attack. Like it doesn't say how it worked. I would love to get the breakdown. Maybe in the future we'll see it. But I don't know if you remember one of the shows we did ages ago, it seems now, there was a 0-click attack on an iPhone where it renamed a PDF as a JPEG and sent you an image via DM, and that bypassed the iPhone's sandbox. And it was like, and then PDFs allow you to run things, and boom, you're like, the phone was compromised. I don't know how this works, but I'm fascinated to watch this space to see how any 0-click DM attack works. So I think there was 2 targeted. One was Paris Hilton, and the other one was, I feel like it was like CNN or something like that.
Yeah, but I'm always curious to see this stuff on platforms. It's like, was this built in? It's my tinfoil hat. I'm putting it on right now. There's certain times where it's like, okay, well, you're using a lot of customer data. You have an app that has full access to a phone. Maybe you build in a little backdoor into the application, and then you exploit it when you want to. And then these are the few
TikTok.
These are the few stories that you've actually heard about, but you haven't really heard about the other ones. You know what I mean?
Another hot take.
Yeah, full of hot takes. All right, tinfoil hat off.
Up. Okay, that is the 10th article. What a fun show this one's been.
Yeah, half week. It's gonna be a little different next in 2 weeks on Friday, but all the articles in the description below, as always. We'll have them timestamp for you when we get posted. Steve, what do you have going on
in my life?
No, well, I'll be at Cloud Native Security Con at the end of June in Seattle. So if you're there, come.
I will not be. I'll be at OWASP Lisbon on the other side of the world, which is unfortunately coinciding with Cloud Native Security Con.
Too bad. Yeah, we have a cool talk. Do all vulnerabilities really matter? Answer, no. So check it out. I'll have a little breakdown for you.
No need to check that out anyway.
We'll tell you why, at least. But yeah, 2 weeks from now, until next time, he's Steve, I'm Mike, and this is Wired In.